Aid Child is real hope in Uganda. It's a home for orphans living with AIDS, where they're loved and nurtured one by one at a time. It's the brainchild of Nathaniel Dunnigan, who gave birth to the project after serving as a volunteer for AIDS prevention in Africa.
I was so struck at that time at the enormity of the need. There are so many orphans in Uganda. There are 2.3 million orphans, more than any other nation of the world today. And so many of them were suffering, and as I saw it, they were suffering unnecessarily. I just encountered so many precious little ones who were burning up with fevers that were being untreated and suffering from skin conditions that weren't being cared for. And it affected me so dramatically that I just couldn't go home and pretend that I hadn't seen it. All of our kids are not on hospice care. They're living, they're growing, they're planning their futures, they're going on to secondary school and high school, they're planning their careers and their families, and it's so exciting to have come this far.
Aid Child created a microbiology laboratory at its headquarters in Masaka that provides essential testing for more than 1,500 villagers every month. Aid Child also offers a lifetime commitment of antiretroviral therapy to their children. Dr. Patrick Benura is a medical director for the Aid Child clinics.
We see them improving a person who is supposed to have died, a child who is supposed to have died at a much earlier, tender age. And after a few months of treatment, I see him improving and growing up. It's so satisfying a job. Aid Child was a blessing here in Uganda.
Medical strides have made an enormous impact, but psychosocial support is equally vital.
It's just love. Understanding that the children are often coming from backgrounds of great tragedy. They've experienced tremendous loss. They've watched their parents die, they've watched their siblings die, they've watched other family members die and been left alone. So psychosocial support addresses those needs, which are just as great or even greater than the medical need. The ingredients of quality care for our kids are more ordinary than heroic. They're just basic components of natural, beautiful, healthy life. They need someone to love them. They need someone to pat them on the head as they walk past them, or to pick them up, or to notice when they're sad today, to notice when their shirt is torn, or to notice when they're not eating their meal. They need education. They need to go to school.
STEM, very good. All of you, STEM.
Our kids so much desire to love as much as they desire to be loved.
The children here at Aid Child have profoundly impacted my work, my life, every part of my existence. They are just remarkable in their ability to turn their backs on the darkness of yesterday and embrace the light of hope today.
Our second site is located in the Mpigi district of Uganda, which is a very underserved district. In fact, we've been able to bring the first running water there, serving about 2,000 people a day with fresh, clean running water.
Aid Child's Mpigi home has been chosen by the United States Agency for International Development in cooperation with other African countries to serve as a model of pediatric HIV/AIDS care for the entire continent. As it grows, Aid Child is committed to self-sustainability. Income is generated through their poultry farm, which produces 8,000 eggs every month. Aid Child also opened 2 art galleries, one in the capital city, Kampala. And the second, located on the equator line and appropriately named Equation Cafe. Both galleries feature the work of local artists and attract volumes of tourists, celebrities, and dignitaries, including the president of Uganda.
And secondary schools and things like that.
Okay.
And we're also working on outpatient clinics.
Sales from the farm and galleries pay for all administrative costs at Aid Child. And that means that donor monies are used exclusively for medicine and food for the children. These contributions will also fund the Aid Child vision of outpatient clinics, which will serve children who are fortunate to have a home but are living with AIDS and desperate for medical care.
It's a program not to worry about children dying, it's about children living. That even the most neglected people in society, those who may have had the least hope physically, financially, spiritually, of having a good life, are now thriving because he's established a center for people that no one else was paying any attention to.
All the many facets of Aid Child are driven by Nathaniel's core desire.
That people who are introduced to Aid Child see the beauty of Compassion's face and not only her teardrop. What we're doing here is something very hopeful, very special, and very beautiful. The need, I think, is quite clear. What I want to be even clearer is the success of active compassion, the success of helping children with the basic ingredients of ordinary life and of precious love and of beautiful hope. So the Aid Child story is not a sad story about orphans living with AIDS in Africa. It's a beautiful story about children living a very precious, positive, happy life in Africa.